Jackson, the world's greatest collector car auctions.
So Gary, tell me a little bit about the 2006 Barret Jackson event. What happened to you there?
That was an exciting time. I must say, one of the most exciting times in my life. We sold 4 cars there. We sold the Franay, which came up first. Then we had my next 3 cars, which is the 16-cylinder Bentley Royale, the 6.5-liter supercharged Blue Train Special, and last but not least, the Beast. We brought 4 records that were just absolutely wonderful, wonderful prices for wonderful, wonderful cars. We placed 2 Phantom 4 straight 8 Rolls-Royce engines together in a V front to back, geared them front and back. And it was absolutely, there's amazing things that we did to that. We have a radiator in the front. We also have a radiator in the back area behind the seat in a plenum where you would turn it on and you'd have an inline water pump. So we had probably 30 gallons of liquid through it, couldn't get it hot. It was just wonderful. The top part here was all done in elephant hide. It was unbelievable car. And Lalique radiator ornament was all banded on the edges of the fenders with polished stainless steel. And that through the efforts of Kent Fuller and I. Kent Fuller, everybody knows, is a 2-time Hall of Fame winner. Hot Rod, Slingshot, did the Paradome cars. I mean, he's a fantastic builder in that. And he lived here for a while with me to help me do this car.
Gary, is it true that the purchaser of this car actually drives it every day?
He drives it as much as humanly possible. I bumped into him at Pebble Beach. We talked and we're kidding about it. He drives it all the time. He absolutely loves it. He keeps it in his Palm Beach home, and then in the winter, when he's in Palm Beach, and in the summer, he takes it to his New York home. He drives it all the time. He has a ball with it, which really makes me feel good. I was able to create something that someone who has the money to buy anything in the world that he wants drives and chooses my car, my one-off monster, beautiful Bentley Royale.
So you built this car pretty much bulletproof as a driver.
Oh, it's as a driver. It's power steering, power brakes. We did it even though it is a early-looking car, but you have to make them so they can be driven to modern speeds and safety standards, and we did that.
So Gary, what prompted you to build this Blue Train Special?
I've always admired the great aero cars of the 20s and the 30s, and there were so few of them. For example, the Pierce Silver Arrow, and there were several others, but there's so few, and so few of it survived. And they were really something that were like outer space at the time. What I did, I decided that I would copy my favorite of them all, which was the Wolf Bernardo Blue Train Special, the big Bentley. But I copied it in sympathetically, that I used it as a guide to build. And mine was totally different, where that was strictly structured as a racing car and a very utilitarian type of piece. I did mine to the top end. So this one here, I did it in blue, and it has a supercharger on the front, a 6.5 liter straight 8 engine. And everything was burled walnut inlaid with silver and mother of pearl and precious jewels for the idiot lights. I really went way out of the way. In the back, it's only for 2 people, and this is a very large car. And in the very back, there are 2 built-in bars. One was for single malt for me, and the other was blended Scotch for the passenger. And it was just something that had to be built. It was just the most elegant, wonderful driving car. Be able to drive down the road at 85 miles an hour with a supercharger howling. It was just an incredible thing.
It's a work of art.
Work of art. Barret Jackson got it going.
So that was April Fool's Day of 2006.
Laughed all the way to the bank. 4 world records. For me, Barret Jackson was the only logical choice because they are the premier auctioneers for special one-off concept and hot rod automobiles. And what's amazing, what was a world record then, within 2 or 3 months of the auction, cars sold again, one of them did, and brought almost 70% more than it brought at the auction, another world record. And this has happened with several of my cars. And I know right now that if the Franay Royale, any of these were to be auctioned again, I know full well they'd bring at least, probably would double up or more with the way this current market's going. One-off cars, concept cars, are the rarest thing in the world now, and there's fewer all the time. All of the major collections, all of the major museums have been buying them up, and they're gone. They're gone for circulation. So if you have a one-off concept car that has not been sold yet, believe me, it's going to go.
The Silhouette 2 Space Coupe.
You got it. And these cars are going to continue to advance in value, period.
Okay, now tell me about the Franay. This is the car that I understand was the world beater of world beaters for you at Barret Jackson in 2006.
Yes, it was. It set the world record for him. It set an auction record for him. It still hasn't been beat during all of their auctions at Palm Beach, and I think it might be a while before it is again, unless it's auctioned again. And I don't think that's going to happen. 47 Franay Bentley was really a traumatic time in my life, because to put that at auction, I'd had it 27 years. So it wasn't exactly a quick turnover. It's like time for the kid to kick out of the nest. Well, we put it there, and I put it in Barret Jackson's hands. And they did a terrific job. But I got to tell you, first 10 minutes or so, I mean, it was going, it was really rocking. And it seemed like a lifetime, just like infinity going on. And then it kicked up again and went to 1.2 million. And at that point, everybody's excited. The audience is up, they're screaming. I mean, anytime you hit $1 million with a car, it's pandemonium. Well, at 1.2 million, one of the auctioneers turned to me and said, "Mr. Wales, what do you think, 1.2 million?" And the only thing that came into my mind was, you paid for the restoration, now let's pay for the car. And the place went crazy, went up to 1.6 million, and it was absolutely fantastic. So that was my day, April Fool's Day.
What can you tell me about the boat tail design?
Carl, funny you should ask. The boat tail concept came from my original car in 1984 that we entered in the Great American Race. It had been in a mudslide in a fire here in California, buried, destroyed. We'd taken it apart, and I didn't want to rebuild it as a four-door sedan, so what better than a boat tail speedster? So we designed and we built our own boat tail, and it's been such a success, and they're such crowd pleasers and pleases me. So all of my subsequent cars have been boat tails.
This is your latest project for a future Barret Jackson event?
Yes, it is. It's a 1933 Bentley 3 1/4 one-off special bodied convertible, and just happens to be the last car in the very first series ever made. And we're completely doing it 100%. So it'll be a 100-point Concours car.
You're hooked up with the greatest team in the world for auction services, Barret Jackson. You can't beat them for classic cars, and you're proof of that.
Carl, I've been going to automobile auctions for over 30 years, and I must say that I have never known anyone that had more passion for the automobile than Craig Jackson. And of course, Steve Davis, the president, Craig Jackson's the CEO, and they've carried this through, and it's exemplified in their auctions. I mean, they're wonderful, fantastic auctions, and all of the peripheral events that are going on all just blend in to make this a tremendous event. I mean, this is an event. It's not, you just don't go to an auction, you are going to an event. They are absolutely the best. They draw the greatest crowds, and they're now doing their 3 auctions. They're doing Scottsdale, which is unbelievable. That's all world class, Palm Beach, and now Mandalay Bay, which I am putting in El Bistioni.
Brand new premier auction.
Absolutely no reserve, and I know they're going to do the job, and here we are. I'm waiting for another world record.
It's going to be great. I can't wait to see it, Gary.